Hello friends and welcome to StudyIQ. I'm Joycey Joy and today we will be discussing about the role of Chief of Defence Staff. So recently the Prime Minister has made an announcement regarding the post of Chief of Defence Staff. So based on this we will be understanding and analyzing what is the role of this post. So let us see what is the post of Chief of Defence Staff. Now, coming to the announcement, which is a current affair, the Indian Prime Minister announced the post of Chief of Defence Staff in his Independence Day speech 2019. So, this announcement was made by Prime Minister during the Independence Day speech, and based on this, we need to understand what is this post all about. So, basically, the CDS or the Chief of the Defence Staff, so in short the CDS, it is a high military office. So this rank, the military office rank is very high, and the purpose of this office or this post is to oversee and coordinate the working of three services. We know that there are three military services in India: the Air Force, the Navy, and also the army. So these are the three services in military in India. So the purpose of the CDS or the Chief of Defence Staff is to oversee, that is to monitor the three offices or the three services, and also to coordinate the working of these three services: the Air Force, Navy, and the army. So by doing this, by overseeing, monitoring and coordinating the three services, it offers seamless tri-service views and also single point advice to the Prime Minister. So it gives its advice, it renders its advice to the Prime Minister based on its coordination and monitoring of the services. So this advice is given on long-term defense planning, on defense management, on the management of the workforce in the defense, management of equipment, regarding the strategy development, and also regarding coordination in operations. So it provides long-term defense planning or long-term advices or solutions with regard to defense to the Prime Minister of the country. Now, the role of the CDS or the Chief of Defence Staff becomes more critical or more crucial in times of conflict. So whenever there is a conflict, then the role becomes evidently more important. Now, as of now, let us see how is the role played and who plays the role of the CDS. So as of now, India has Chiefs of Staff Committee. So the Chiefs of Staff Committee is what is available now. The present one, it is Chiefs of Staff Committee. And the senior most Chief of the Staff is appointed to serve as the chairman. So there would be three Chiefs of Staff Committee, one for Navy, one for Air Force, and the other one for Army. So the senior most among these three serves as the chairman or the chair. So until he or she retires, he or she will act as the chairman. And at present, currently the chairman is the Chief of the Army Staff. So the Chief of the Army Staff currently serves as the chairman of this Chiefs of Staff Committee. Now talking about the powers of the COSE, that is the Chiefs of the Staff Committee. So the powers of the COSE is very much limited, or we can say at present this is a toothless office. So they does not have much powers, and also the post do not further the tri-service integration, that is the integration of the three services is not guaranteed or ensured by the post of COSE, and this results into inefficiency and also expensive duplication of the assets. So inefficiency plus duplication of assets at the cost of the public resources, that is done at present. So this is the present status. Now coming to the role of the CDS or the Chief of the Defence Staff. So let us see what would be the role of the CDS. The primary role will be that the CDS or the Chief of the Defence Staff would be in charge of new organizations. So the CDS would be in charge of the new organizations. Now, what are these new organizations? These new organizations are being set up for tackling the future threats. So, future threats, for example, development of certain future technologies to manage or to face the threats in the future, or the threats that can come up in the future. For example, in areas like artificial intelligence, cyberspace, missiles domain, etc. So these are all certain future threats. So new organizations can come up to deal with this future threats. So the CDS or the Chief of the Defense Staff can act as the in charge of this new organizations that can come up in the future to eliminate the risk of future threats. Now, secondly, the CDS or the Chief of the Defense Staff can help in cost-effective development of this institutions or new organizations. So, as we discussed, these organizations which can deal with the threats arising out of new technologies like the artificial intelligence, cyberspace, missiles domain, etc. So, these are extremely advantageous. So, these advancements, they are extremely costly. So, lot of money or monetary resources are needed to develop these organizations. And the CDS, the Chief of the Defense Staff, this can facilitate optimal and cost-effective integrated development and deployment of such structures. How is this possible? This is possible because the CDS will be able to coordinate and integrate various services like Army, Navy, Air Force, etc. So by effective integration and coordination of these tri-services, cost effectiveness can be ensured. And also CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff, it can also play a vital role in prioritizing what is required and also in rationalizing. And considering the high cost of the future technology, the CDS can also contribute towards the optimization of existing structures. That means maximum benefits can be taken out of the existing structures as well. So, a review of existing establishments and the review of all the existing manpower should also be a function that is assigned to the CDS. Now, the third role of CDS could be in integrating the workforce. So, future conflict situations, this can possibly be managed well by an integrated approach. So, as we have seen, the CDS, the Chief of the Defense Staff, this is a tri-service position. That means this position would be the head of all the three service staffs. So, this position makes it much suitable or most suitable position for the integrated application of warfighting in resources, and it can also facilitate unitary control in the integrated operations. So, this CDS, the position or the role of the CDS can be well utilized in integrating the workforce of the three services. So, these are the possible roles that can be played by the CDS. Now moving on, let us see what is the way ahead, what has to be done. Already Prime Minister has made an announcement regarding the creation of this post. Now what is required? First, it should be made sure that this is a single point military advice. So the CDS should be well equipped in order to provide planning and future strategies to the ministry. Now, second one, it should not become another interposed level between the defense minister and the service chiefs. So, what is meant by this interposed level? This means that on the top we have the defense minister and also we have the service chiefs, that is the chiefs of three services of the Navy, of the Army and also of the Air Force. So, the position of the CDS should not become intermediate or the interpost level between the defense minister and the service chiefs. Its role must be much higher than that. Now thirdly, it should be made sure that the role of the CDS should be restricted to advisory role. So why? Because the CDS has the primary role of providing advices to the ministry based on the experiences of monitoring and also integration of the services. So the role should be that of advisory role and it should not be extended into administrative efficiency roles. So this means that the CDS should not be given extra burden apart from advisory role. And finally, what should be made sure? It must be made sure that the role of the CDS is much critical with regard to national security apparatus than three of the service chiefs. So the role of the CDS should be much higher than that of the three service chiefs, and it should be restricted towards providing critical advices to the ministry with regard to national security. Now let us come to the CDS or the Chief of Defence Staff from the UPSC perspective. So I'll tell you from your prelims perspective as well as from your mains perspective what has to be studied. So from your prelims perspective, the need for CDS, also the role of CDS, the functions of CDS, etc. are very important. Now I'll tell you the context which we have already discussed in the beginning. The context is that in the Independence Day address, the Prime Minister announced about the creation of a post of CDS or Chief of Defence Staff. Now, as we said, what is the CDS? It is a high military office that oversees and coordinates the working of three services, the Army, the Navy and the Air Force. Now, when we talk about the role and the functions of CDS, it provides effective leadership at the top level. I am talking from your UPSC perspective. So important points to be noted. We have already discussed in detail, just summing up the important points that needs to be noted. So it provides effective leadership at the top level. And also second one, it ensures the coordination or improves the coordination among the three services. And it also provides a single point advice to the executive, whether it is the Prime Minister or the Defence Minister. Now, we have discussed about the practice so far. What is the current practice? We have seen it is the Chief of Staff Committee, and the senior most among the three will become the chairman. Now, why there is a need to change the current practice? That is again important. This is because the current arrangement of the Chief of Staff Committee, it is unsatisfactory. And also it is inefficient and it leads to duplication of assets. And another point to be noted here is that the Chief of the Staff's Committee, it is left over from the colonial era. Now from your mains perspective, I'll discuss about the proposal. How did the proposal of creating the post of CDS came up? So the first proposal for a CDS came from the 2000 Kargil Review Committee, KRC. So the Kargil Review Committee did not directly recommend a CDS, but it underlined the need for more coordination among the three services. So this was the first instance where such a need for coordination among the three services were brought up. And according to the Kargil Review Committee report, it pointed out that India is the only major democracy where the armed forces headquarters is outside the apex governmental structure. So this was one observation. Now secondly, it also observed that the service chiefs devote most of their time to their operational roles. So they cannot render effective advices. Third one, the chief of the services or the staff committees, they have to perform their day-to-day priorities. So defense planning or long-term defense planning suffers. So long-term defense planning should be given some priority. And fourth one, the CDS, the Chief of the Defence Staff Post, it is also seen as being vital to the creation of theatre commands. So theatre commands means integrating the tri-services assets and personnel. This is done in the US military. So US military would be a good example for this. So these are the things that you need to remember about the CDS from your prelims and your mains perspective. A very, very important topic. And in this regard, you should definitely mention about the KRC, the Kargil Review Committee, if a question is asked in your mains examination from this topic. So this is all about the CDS, and you can find the PDF of this lecture on our website, and you can follow my Facebook page for more video updates. You can write to me at joyce.studyiq@gmail.com for any of your queries and clarification. Thank you.